I'm thinking about just being Steven now. What do you think about that? You know?
Okay, Steven. Well, I don't call you Steven.
Oh, yeah. You call me
Call you Poochies.
Poochies. Should we start again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we cut all that?
Pod Sound School presents Content Jefe, the podcast that helps online business owners make better content and more money. Let's Jefe up. Hello and welcome to the Content Jefe podcast. I'm Veronica.
And I'm Studio Steve.
And we are online educators for content creators, creative professionals, and business owners.
Yes. And we're here to help your content excel online. In this podcast, we talk about all sorts of goodies. We get into the industry lifestyle. We really focus on the creator economy and
how you can make money online, how you can make money with your content, the latest tools for content creation that will save you time.
And this episode is one in a series about stackable skills, specifically podcast editing is kind of the theme of the last and of these 5 episodes that we're doing together in a bunch. So it's really something that we're very passionate about. And we wanted to do a whole series of videos all about working online, starting a side hustle, and podcast editing. And this episode in particular, I really want to talk about something that we've been really obsessed over. And it's what we call stackable skills or add-on skills. This can be really valuable.
Yeah. But before we get into the episode, I want to thank you if you've been listening to our podcast or if you've been watching our podcast. This is a video podcast too. If you're listening and if you're watching, you can. It's an audio podcast.
Yes. Any way you want it. We got it.
I want to thank you for taking the time to tune in to every single one of our episodes. I know that there are some loyal listeners out there, and I just want to tell you thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so
much. And if you are new, welcome to our world. I hope you stay here with us for the long run, and I hope you find all the resources of information that you need and all the support and encouragement and love from us.
Yes, that's what we're here for.
To give it all.
So don't be a stranger. Leave a comment, leave a review. Tell us you're listening. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what your business is all about. We're here for you. And although it's sort of a parasocial relationship, the great joys that we get are when we get to, work with students and meet people and get to know more about you. So don't be a stranger.
Don't be a stranger. So let's get to the episode.
Let's get to it. What do we got?
So like you mentioned, we are going to be talking about ways that you can make more money as a professional creator, as a creative professional, mm-hmm. A professional creator, as a creative professional.
Yes, which could also be a professional creator.
Professional creator. Uh-huh. How can you make more money? So this is like for a video editor, for a podcast editor, or if you're a community manager, a social media manager,
a graphic designer.
There are a series of skills that you can stack on your resume, or you can stack on your portfolio of things, of services that you offer that will really increment the money that you can charge your clients, the money that you ask for your offers.
Yes. So this is really great for those who are already creative professionals or freelancers. This is like, how can you maybe start proposing some new ideas to your existing clients to start making more money with clients you already have? And then more importantly, when you get approached by new clients or find new clients, how can you increase the rates that you're currently charging? That's kind of the focus here. And that's really the whole idea of our stackable skills. And like Veronica said, any of these skills, and a quick list real quick of the ones we're talking about that we're focusing on are skill sets within what you could call the creator economy. But it's podcast editing, which is also vocal, voice, narrative editing, video editing. Then you also have community management, social media management, and podcast management, all those sort of management ideas, copywriting, graphic design, and I may be missing some, but those are the big ones.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and something that you were mentioning on another episode that we batch record our podcast.
Yes.
So this is our 4th episode
that we start to mix in together all as one.
But in one of the episodes, and I would advise you to go check it out because it's very all of the episodes that we're going to release talking about how you can make money from home or how you can learn podcast editing, or all those episodes. Very good information. But you were talking about kind of what has been the evolution from the traditional training to the creator economy, how to work in a creator economy.
Yeah, I love that. And really what you're bringing up is the sort of the real philosophy behind these stackable skills and why they're so valuable and why they multiply each other. And any combination of these skills are going to multiply each other. And what that really has to do with is not just the demand for these skills, which is very high demand, but the pain that you are alleviating. And you'll hear it said in marketing terms, the more painful something is, the more suffering involved, the higher amount of money somebody will pay for you to alleviate their suffering. That's how I like to start looking at this, is the pain of a client. And so for the sake to illustrate what I'm getting at, so you know what I'm talking about, let's kind of come up with an avatar client for the consideration of this episode, which is, let's say, business owners, right? Like, so a business owner maybe, and we'll just say they have like 20 employees. But they're a good business. Maybe they have $1 million or more coming in revenue every month, right? Something, or every year, right? So they're just like kind of a small new business, but they have services that they offer people, and they know that they want to start doing content marketing. So they're going to hire you as a podcast editor. So if you're looking at the pain they have, they know they want to start a podcast because they want to get into content marketing. So they have heard, and wisely, maybe even from us, that a podcast is a perfect place to start, because from a podcast, they can get little video clips, they can get everything they need, really all they need for their content marketing podcast. But when they actually get into the podcasting thing, it's very painful in a lot of ways. And so they know they need a podcast editor because that takes a few hours to edit a podcast. But what's so interesting about these stackable skills is if you just go about any one of these skills, your clients will ask you to provide the other ones. That's why they stack on top of each other. They bleed into each other. And if you've been editing podcasts at all, if you've ever tried it or even edited your own podcast, then you know what I'm talking about. And you'll learn it immediately. All you have to do is pick up one client and they'll ask you immediately, can you post this? Can you upload this to my podcast host and post it to all the directories for me? Yes, but that's going to be an extra $25 per episode, right? That's okay. In fact, you could charge more. And that one thing only takes you 50 seconds, 67 seconds, right? And you just made $25 extra per episode to do it. But then while you're there, can you also give me an SEO based title for that podcast episode and a good, rich description of that podcast episode? Yes, but that's $100 extra each episode. Cha-ching! But what did you just become there? You became a copywriter and you became an SEO strategist. Those are skills that you've stacked on. You're no longer just a podcast editor. You're also a copywriter that you specialize in, and you also specialize in doing SEO research and keyword research for your clients so that each and every one of their episodes has the most chance to stand out against their competitors. Okay, well, that's great. What's the next question this client's going to ask you?
Okay, let's pause the episode. Are you too, like 50% of Americans, looking for a side hustle to bring in some more cash, either to help pay your bills or maybe to pay off your debt or to finally take the kids on that vacation out of the country that you've been dreaming of? There is no better side hustle to start than to become a podcast editor. Did you know that with zero experience and only a couple months of training, that a brand new podcast editor can charge a minimum of $125 per episode? So that would be $500 a month for each client. And you can expect to spend 2 hours a week per client. So there's some realistic fun math for you. If you want $2,000 extra every month, then take on 4 clients and work an additional 8 hours a week. And the work itself is meaningful and fulfilling because you're helping people to build their brand, you're working with professionals, interesting people sharing their message and their stories with a real audience. And if this is something that sparks your interest, we've created Pod Sound School's free podcast edit lab. This is a hands-on learning mini course where you work to edit a professional podcast episode. By the end of the free mini course, you will export your own podcast episode and submit it to us for review. So find out if you have what it takes. Go to podcastingsmart.com/free edit lab. I'll also leave the link where you're consuming this episode. Okay, now back to Content Hefe.
Do you think you can make like 5 vertical videos out of each one of my podcast episodes and post them to social media? Because that would be really awesome. Or do you know somebody? Yes, I can do that. But That's an extra $200 every episode. Right. And again, you're already there editing the thing. You already have the files that you're playing with. You just have to now educate yourself. So now what? Now you're a video editor, right? And now you specialize. Okay, that's great. That's wonderful. Now the next thing they're going to ask you is, well, while you're at it, do you think that you could actually just log into my Instagram and to my YouTube and my TikTok account and just post those videos for me? Yes. And maybe you can add a description there and add the music and make them like platform like appropriate. Well, yes, I can. But that's going to be an extra $200 per episode. And believe me, the pain that you're solving for this particular client who has a business, who just wants effective content marketing, that pain is so high. It's so intense that the most outrageous rate that you could think that you could charge for that will not even sound very expensive because of these skills, because these skills are not in any one place, because there is not any one agency typically that provides all these skills. And that's kind of what I was going to get into earlier when you asked me about traditional institutions of education. I guess I could just keep going with this. I mean, shit. But that I kind of passed by that. But with the traditional forms of education, the reason that there's a gap or the reason that there's no bleed over is because of where traditionally creatives and creative professionals are getting trained. And it's because the educational institutions have not yet caught up with the creator economy, meaning that there aren't any colleges or local community colleges or vocational schools that you'll find in any local areas that know the damned thing about the creator economy. And they don't have any instructors teaching actual physical ways. And if you're a millennial, you know that you've been effed by the educational system and then nobody's really helping you actually get a job. You just have a really expensive degree that is nowhere near, it's infuriating, right? But so in the terms of creative services, like being an audio professional, right? In order to even become a podcast editor in terms of traditional education, you would have to get an audio production degree, which means you're going to have to learn about a lot more stuff, years worth of stuff that has little to do with podcast editing. You'd be very good for music production, film production. You could record an entire orchestra, but that's not what you're doing. You're editing podcasts. And so you have all this education that you're not really going to put to use.
Same with video.
Same with video. Then the other thing is, like, if you are going to work in the film industry or the music industry or the television industry or the radio industry, the broadcast industry, then you're going to find these big industries that put out a ton of content and have hierarchical organizations with specialized roles that have to exist that way because of the money that's put into each project, and also because of how much content they put out, how much product they put out. A television series, they're putting out an episode every week, whatever it is, right? So they have, and same with the radio show and everything else. And it's just a few steps above what we do in the creator economy. And so you need a crew of people. And that for that reason, you will never find a video editor do the color correction on a television series ever. That would be crazy. And you would never find a video editor who's going to do the audio, who's going to treat the audio. No, that is impossible in traditional ways of thinking. And this is just not too long ago. This still exists now. And so that has bled over and absolutely exists right now when we're talking about working with independent creators. And when we're talking about working with independent creative professionals, meaning that we all specialize in things and we find our education and we're willing to put the money and the time and the years into learning it, but we're specialized. So now I have a degree in editing and a film technician production degree, which I actually do have that degree. But now I need to go get a degree in audio production because, I can't seem to really compete with, it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's cool about it though is you are seeing more of these non-traditional ways or creator economy ways, educational platforms open up, ours included. And that sort of is our mission statement. We're the Pod Sound School. It started with podcasting, but it now spread to everything content creation and creator economy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because we're fulfilling the need in the marketplace and we're fulfilling the need that we see with people. And that's what the need is. And that's how we've developed these ideas of stackable skills. Really cool. And so to now put it in terms of why stackable skills are so cool and how it works in terms of multiplying. If you're a podcast editor, narrative voice editor, you can charge a certain amount, say per episode. The very lowest would be $150. But if you could edit the video, and in addition to the audio, and video podcasting is very popular right now, and you can separate little clips, vertical clips of that same video. So you're a very advanced video editor. Then you add that extra layer, right? Now, another specialized skill and stackable skill that I didn't mention is color correction. And I like to throw that into the same category as skin retouching. Two big things, right? I like what you're doing, but could you put those filters they have on Instagram? How come I can't have that on my podcast? Can you figure out how to do that, please? Can you retouch my skin because I have these pajejos, right? And so now you're a colorist, right? So now you have a certification in audio production, you're a video editor, you're a colorist. Think about how much you could charge the same client. And what's cool about it too is it doesn't require much more work. So as you were a podcast editor, you spend an average of 2 hours. If you train with us, if you train with me, I'll get you down to 2 hours per episode of an hour of raw recorded material. With that 2 hours of work, you can make $200 an episode. So it's $100 an hour. If you stack another one of those skills, you might add another hour, but you quadruple the amount you can charge. So you can charge $600, $800 per episode, easily, probably $1,200 per episode to do what I just mentioned with the color correction and the little vertical clips. So you went from making $200 an episode to $1,200 an episode by stacking on more skills. And that multiplication, by the way, it's exponential the more of these skills that you stack. Stack copywriting onto that. Oh, and while I'm at it, I'm making a description and everything else for your podcast episode. I'm also going to repurpose these into blog posts that's going to help you build your overall SEO strategy on Google. Well, shit, man. You're like the one-stop shop. Anyway, so that's my 2 cents. I feel like I got it out. It was a little, all over the place, but
no, I think it was wonderful.
Okay.
I think if you think from the perspective of a business owner, of somebody really needing those services, it's sometimes it's a pain to find one person with all the things, all the services that you need. Sometimes you don't even know how to ask. Sometimes you don't even know what you need. So I think it's up to you to bring those things to the table. I think if you are a video editor and you feel like your client needs a little bit of help with their skin complexion, or then you can bring the idea, I can retouch your videos so you look more youthful, so we can balance a little bit the colors and they look more vibrant. So things that you should present to your clients to upsell them on something that they need, that will make them look even better, that will make them sound even better, that will help their online presence. There's nothing wrong with that. We're always seeking ways to look better. We're always seeking ways to position our brand in a certain way. And if you have the solution, if you have the skills, or if you have to maybe spend a weekend or a week or 2 weeks learning the new skills, so that project that you've been working on sound better, look better, and you're going to make your client look like a star, then do it. Why not doing it? And this is how you're going to get to charge even more for your service. You don't need to put a limit in what you do when there are so many ways that you can be opening yourself up for more opportunities, for more money to come your way. The internet right now, it just makes it possible for anybody to make money, really. You just need a device. You just need your phone. I don't know what my phone is, but I was going to show you my
commitment. You need to just lean into it. You're listening to this episode, so you're halfway there. The curiosity is enough that's why you're connecting with us right now. Otherwise, you wouldn't be, because we've spoken very clearly what our message is and what we're trying to help you with. So just do the damn thing. Damn it! Just try it. It's like anything else, And I hate the analogy of losing weight or getting in shape, but it's like the ultimate analogy for everything.
But we're in the process of it.
And
we're looking a little chubby, as some of the people here pointed out, that I was getting the double chin. So we
appreciate that.
Refraining from eating a lot. Look, I'm fasting and exercising, so I look better.
The extra chub on my body, it was my kids, okay? I wasn't good at stress management.
I think more than the kids, it's been the stress of running a business.
It has been.
I think in the last few years for us, it's been a roller coaster of exciting things happening for us, and exciting things happening for our family.
Yeah.
And stressful, but all good. But we turn to food for comfort and to soothe ourselves.
Do you remember the cereal?
And the cereal and
I miss the cereal.
We will wake up in the middle of the night and go have cereal.
So it's the ultimate analogy for everything, losing weight or getting in shape, because it pays dividends after a consistent commitment.
Mm-hmm.
You can go bust your ass in the gym for 2 weeks, and if you stop, you'll go right back to fat and flabby real quick, right? It's the same with the side hustle stuff. It's the same with getting your business going. Show up on social media, start marketing yourself as a podcast editor. You start learning the ropes, and then, but if you don't stay consistent with you, if you don't keep yourself accountable, make that commitment with yourself, then it's never going to pay the dividends. So that's what I'd like you to do. That's what we want you to do, is just make that commitment with yourself. The education is there. You can DIY it. We have educational programs, some of the best in the industry, if I do say so myself. We can help you with that and help you to skip those rite of passage stages. But whatever it is, just commit to yourself that you're going to do that, because it will pay dividends. And just like feeling comfortable in your own skin, like the rewards you get from working out, the dividends, like after 6 months, you're going to have to work out consistently for 6 months to a year, 18 months, like Ray Dalio. He's obsessed with 18 months. If you don't know Ray Dalio, his book, The Principles, I was obsessed with it for a while. 18 months. So commit to it for 18 months, a year and a half. You're going to try this side hustle thing. I promise, if you stick to it, and if this promise doesn't come true for me, like, I don't know, I'll do something for you, anything you want. Because I promise afterwards, it will start to pay off those dividends, and you'll be like, holy shit. Like, wow, and not only the financial freedom that you'll gain, but the newfound appreciation for everything in life, and also like everything you'll have to face within yourself to overcome the obstacles of like breaking through. And you've got that. And it all just starts with like a single step. And then the next day you take another step. That's it. You don't get obsessed with what it's going to look like 3 years from now. Don't get into hypothetical thinking. Get into action thinking immediately.
Absolutely.
And then when it comes to your business too, get into at first, in order for your business to survive at first, in order for that side hustle, it's about how can you get cash coming in. Keep the cash coming in and you'll be fine. And it's crazy. It's just an email away. It's just that you have to ask. It's so crazy. The opportunities, they're there for you, like legitimately. We think that it's I
don't know why it's so difficult to ask.
I don't know why either.
I just feel really like maybe we are afraid of the responses that we're going to get.
Maybe we're afraid of the responsibility of stepping into it.
Yeah.
Maybe I know that's kind of what it was for me, because if I announce that I do this thing, or if we launch this online course, then shit, we're going to have a bunch of students that we're going to be responsible for. That's scary. Yes, but you will have clients. You will have to manage those clients. There will be days maybe you don't feel like showing up. You are going to feel like a fraud. Absolutely. You are going to embarrass yourself. Absolutely. But it's just like working out. Like, how many times have you fallen over trying to do a damn curtsy lunge? Why do they even make you do curtsy lunges? I don't ever want to do a curtsy lunge again. Anyway, we love you a lot, and that's why we do what we do. And so I hope that you find value in this bunch of episodes and all of our episodes. And if there's any one topic you'd like us to cover, let us know as well too.
Yeah, we love you. We have faith in you. We know that you're going to start that side hustle, or that you're going to stack more services to what you offer, and that you're going to keep coming back to us for more education, for more tips, for more information about the industry. And thank you for spending your time with us.
Yes.
And we'll see you, or you'll hear from us
in
the next episode. Hasta la vista, jefe.
I felt a little too Chandler Bing in that one.
Oh.
Let me try. Okay, hold on. Or Joey from Friends. Hold on.